Hello, in this video we are going to be creating an abstract flower patch. We're going to be using line, shape, color, and pattern to pull this off. For this project you will need colored markers. Additionally, I recommend we use a fine point black Sharpie. The Sharpie will not smudge with the colored markers. We will be working in this video on a 9x6 piece of paper. That's in the interest of time. This paper right here is actually a 9x12 piece of paper. You can, of course, use a larger piece of paper in your composition should you choose. Now to begin, we are going to be placing a series of circles on our paper, some high, some low, and we'll also be filling in these circles with various colors. When I place my circles on the paper, they should roughly be about the size of a dime. Next up, I'm going to add some layers to my circles. These layers are going to be about a finger space wide. Now some of these circles, I may leave them as is, so they could be a flower bud. Now it is at this point I can decide to add additional layers to a couple of my flowers if I'd like. I am now happy with the colors I have used for my composition. I am now going to move on to my Sharpie. And for this, I got to decide. Some of these are going to be just flower buds, and then some others are going to have petals, but I would like variety. I can add pattern inside the rings of my circles. I can also make petals go on the outside of my circles. It is also really important to keep in mind to not let your petals crisscross on your flowers. You may use line and shape to create these petals. You can also see here that I'm also tracing some of my circles. All right, I have done petals. I've used different kinds of patterns. I've used different kinds of line. I am now ready to move on to my stems. For my stems, some of my lines are going to be thin and some of my lines are going to be double. It is also really important to remember that some lines will go behind flowers, but it's important to remember that you do not crisscross your lines. Now to create interest in my picture, I'm going to use a variety of leaves. Also in my composition, I'm going to create small blades of grass at the bottom. Now that I've added my grass, I can keep my composition the way I'd like, but I see that I have this little empty space. Completely up to you, but maybe you add a little bug flying in the air. Voila! I'm happy with my composition.